Hi everyone, I'm Veronica, one of Constant Contact's onboarding specialists based here in Brisbane, and I'll be guiding you through today's in-depth walkthrough of getting set up within your account for success. So what we'll cover today, we'll go through an introduction to Constant Contact so you have a better understanding of who we are. We'll go through how this will add value to your marketing efforts, logging into your account, setting your account up for success, uploading contacts, creating an email, connecting and using socials, and where to find support. I would encourage asking questions in the chat box located to the right of this session. You won't see other people's questions and they won't see yours, so don't worry if the chat box is looking a little quiet. So a little bit about Constant Contact. We do support over 500,000 customers worldwide. We've been helping businesses for over 30 years. Each year, our customers send over 100 billion emails from our platform, and we have a high success rate with our email deliverability sitting at 97%, placing us amongst the top providers for email deliverability. So what's the value for you? Well, this platform's going to help you save time and stay consistent, capture and grow your audience, make more informed decisions, and engage your audience. So let's get started. I'm going to pull up my account now so that we can dive in. If you can, I do recommend that you follow along within your account too. If you miss a step or get stuck, don't worry, you will get a recording of the session afterwards to reference as you need to. Okay, so let's get you logged into your account. So there's two types of ways that you can log into the platform, either through a desktop browser or through the mobile app. Today we're going to jump in via the desktop browser. So in your browser, type Constant Contact login or go directly to the link which is login.constantcontact.com. You should see a page similar to the one that I'm looking at right now, where you can input your username and your password. If you've forgotten either of those things, you do have two prompts just below that will allow you to click forgot username or forgot password, and then you can reset them. Once you've popped that in, click login. I will highlight that upon your first login, you will be prompted with setting up a two-factor authentication method. This just adds an extra layer of security to keep your account safe. There's different options. They'll include Okta Verify, the Google Authentication app, SMS message, or phone call authentication. A popular option is receiving SMS codes sent to your phone. However, make sure you are choosing the method that works best for you. Once you've done that, you'll be successfully logged into your account. So let's go through a few things to make sure that you are set up for success. Before creating things like social posts or email campaigns, there are a few setup steps that will lay a strong foundation and save you time later. The first is making sure that your email address is verified. So let's click on the profile icon just in the very top right corner, and then let's click Settings. There's a few tabs at the top. The one that we want to click on is Account Emails. On this page, you'll see a list of the different emails that you've included within your account. You can use different emails for different functions. For example, you might want one email for your default reply to email and then another one for your default from email. Now, to check that it has been verified, next to your email, you'll see a green bubble that says email verified. And if it's not saying that, it may say email pending verification. If you're seeing that bubble, just to the right where the three dots are, click them and then click the prompt resend verification email. Once you've done this, make sure you jump into your inbox and verify your email. So now that your email is verified, let's confirm a few details while still in account settings. Let's click back on the tab called Account Details. So on this page, you'll be able to view and update information such as your profile details, business details, password and security information, regional settings, which I will highlight. The platform will preset this to a US time zone. I would recommend jumping in and setting this to the correct time zone for you. We won't go through this in detail today, but I definitely recommend jumping in here when you can. So now that we've gone through some administration steps, let's go and set up our brand kit. On that left menu, click on Assets, and then click Brand Kit. Now, setting up your brand kit not only personalizes your account, but it also makes designing your emails faster by letting you instantly apply your brand colors, logo, and images to your emails. I have set up my brand kit already, so that's why it's displaying. As you can see, I've got an example of an email to the right where it's preloaded my logo and my branding colors. I've got a rundown of the different colors using for different elements within my email. And to the left, I've got all my elements, including my logo, colors, and images, where I can click in and add and curate this as I need to. There's two ways to set up your brand kit. One is through scanning your website. This is where you can copy and paste the URL to your website. The platform will then pull different colors and images from your website to curate your brand kit. Or you can do it manually as well by jumping in and uploading your logo colors and images as needed. Now that our brand kit's set up, let's go and upload some contacts. So on that left menu, click on the option Contacts. To upload new contacts, where the blue button is in the top right corner, click Add Contacts. There's a few different methods to uploading contacts to your account. You can add a single or multiple contacts, which is where you'll manually input their details and click Save. You can upload from a file, like a CSV file, or you can sync contacts with different integrations. Today, we're going to use the method Upload from a file. So on this page, we've got the option drop a file to upload or click the Upload button. We'll bring in our file. I've got an Excel spreadsheet with a list of contacts within it. And once that's successfully uploaded, we'll click the blue Continue button in the right corner. So now it's time to map the fields from our file. Fields are things like email address, first name, last name, location, anything that you want linked to your contact. Make sure that each field is mapped correctly. You can click the drop down arrow to select the correct field that you want it to display. You can skip it, or you can even create a custom field if you like. Once you're happy with all of your fields, click Continue on the top right corner. You'll have to make sure that you have permission to email these contacts, so you'll click the checkbox saying that you do. If you like, you can at this point also create a list that you'd like these contacts to live in, or select one that you've already created. For example, I want these contacts to live in my XYZ Donuts customers list. And now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to click Import. Something I'll highlight is if you do forget to add any additional information that you'd like attached to a contact, that's no problem at all. You can add fields later, or you can even re-upload the file with updated information in it. When re-uploading, existing contacts won't be duplicated. The system will simply update them with any new details such as additional fields. And if you'd like to organize your contacts into separate lists or segment them based on behaviors, don't forget to explore lists and segments located on the left menu where you can do this. So just under audience and then lists and segments. If you don't have any contacts ready to go, that's no problem at all. You can upload your own contact information or even a family member's or friends just to go through the steps of uploading contacts, and then you can use them to even test out emails. So let's jump into creating an email now. On that left menu, click on Channels and then Emails. So this is where you'll see a list view of any emails that you've drafted or sent. If you jump to the right of an email, you'll have two options: edit to keep working on your email, or click the three dots, where you'll be able to action a few things such as copying your email, scheduling it, saving it as a template, previewing it, downloading it, or even deleting it. So to create a new email, click the Create Email button in the top right corner. You'll see a range of pre-built templates, and since we set up our brand kit, we'll even have some that have our branding already applied to them. So let's choose a template. I'm going to choose the informational template by hovering my mouse over this template and clicking the option Select with Brand. Now that we're in the editor, creating our email is super easy. We can change things like the images, the layout, the design of the email. But first, let's start with updating our subject line. So let's click on the header here. And this is going to open a page where we can update our subject name, our pre-header, and then we can also update the from name that appears, and then also the from address and reply to address. You've even got an example of what it will look like in your contacts inbox just at the very top. So my use case is that I'm a donut shop and I want to update my contacts on my new donuts that I'm releasing. So let's update this to and now I'm going to update my pre-header to something I'll highlight as well with your subject line. If you'd like to add an element of personalization, like adding your contact's first name, you've just got this personalize button to the right where you can do that. So now I'm going to click save and I'm going to start working on my email. With my template, I already have design blocks within my email, so I can work off of these. If there's anything I want to add to my email, I can do that by dragging and dropping from the left. But let's start with changing our very top title to our new selection of donuts are here. And now where I've got my image block, I'm just going to click on that. A toolbar will appear at the very top where I can go and click replace, and then I can choose the image I'd like to pull in. I have images loaded in my library, so I can select from these. If you haven't loaded images into your library yet, that's no problem at all. You can upload from your computer. You can use our stock image gallery, or if you do create on Canva, you can use the Create in Canva button to pull designs from Canva into your Constant Contact account. For now, I'm going to select an image from my library. I'm going to start with my maple bacon donut. Once you've pulled your image in, if you hover over your image, you'll see these arrows in the bottom right corner. You can drag these to change the scale of your image as well. So let's update our title. And now I can give some context around it. I've got a button just below the details of my donut. If I click on this button, a few different options just to the left will appear, including where I can add a link. So when my contacts are clicking on that button, when they're reading my emails, it'll take them to a specific link I want them to go to. I can also change a few different design elements with the button. For now, I'm going to click back into the button and change the text to say, order here. So we've got our first element of our email created. Let's move on to the next one. Now, it's prompting me to add another heading. I could do that if I want, but for now I don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little bin icon to remove this element. So let's click on this image block here. Let's click replace and let's bring in another image of a new donut. Let's do my banoffee donut. Now that I have the name of my donut and the description, I'll click on my button, update the call to action on my button to be order here, and then make sure that you're just adding the link to your button and updating any design elements that you'd like to. So now I've got my 2 new donuts added to my email template. On the bottom, I've got a few different things that I can update, including my social follow buttons. If you are on social media and you'd like to link your social accounts into your email designs, you can do that. So I'll click into that block And then at the very top, I've got another toolbar where I can go and edit. After clicking edit, I've got a few different options on the left, including how I'd like these to be displayed, and then also the social pages where I can go and copy and paste the links to my social media accounts. With your design blocks, just at the very top, you've got a few different tabs, including the Build tab, Images tab, where you can go to your image library and pull images in. You can also upload images from here. And then your Design tab, where you can go and change things like the background color. I want to add another element of personalization to my email. At the very top where I've got my title, I'm going to click into this box, and now I can see a toolbar just above, and I'm going to click the option Insert, and then Greeting Tag. I'm going to add my contact's first name into here to make my email a bit more personalized and engaging for them. So at the moment, I've got the option personal greeting where it's saying hello and then the contact's first name, which I'm happy with. So I'm going to click insert. Now, lastly, before moving on, I want to update the title of this email. And the title is just something that I will see in my Constant Contact account to help me easily identify what email it is. So just to the left up here, I've got a pencil icon that I can click to change this name, which is Customer Updates New Donuts, and then save. I'm happy with my email now, so I'm going to click continue, which is in the top right of my email. So now I can make sure that I'm happy with the layout when it appears on my contact's desktop or mobile, depending on how they're viewing my email. And to the right, I've got a few different options before sending, including send test, where I can select some emails to send a test version of my email to. And this is a great way to proofread and make sure that you're happy with the layout before sending to your contacts. I've got my time and audience option where I can select if I want to send the email now or schedule it for later. And then I can select my audience below by selecting the list of contacts I'd like the email to go to. You can choose one list or multiple lists depending on who you'd like to send your emails to. I'm going to choose my XYZ Donuts customers list. And then below, I've got my sender details. We updated this earlier on, but I can just double check to make sure I'm still happy with my subject line and pre-header, and then I can cross-check that my from details are correct. Once I'm happy, I've got a few options. I can save my email as a draft if I'd like to come back and keep working on it, or I can click send now to send my email. Now that we've sent our email, let's focus on socials. On our left menu, under channels, click social. There's a few different tabs at the very top. Let's start with the tab called accounts, because this is where we'll go to connect our social accounts such as Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. From here, click which account you'd like to connect first. A pop-up will display asking you to log into that social platform, and once you're logged in, just follow any prompts, including accepting permissions. Once your account's connected, you'll have a tile that looks similar to my LinkedIn tile where it shows active. And then once that's done, you'll have a few different things that you'll be able to do, like view and reply to comments and direct messages, have an overview of engagement analytics, and post directly to these channels without leaving your Constant Contact platform. So these are all done just through the different tabs at the very top. Let's jump into posts and create our first social posts. So I've just clicked on the tab Posts, and now I'm going to click on the blue button where it says Create Social Post to top right. To the left of my draft, I've got an option that says Add Profiles, and this is where I can select my social profile that I'd like to send this post to. You can select multiple or individual depending on what platforms you'd like to send the post to. Now that I've selected my profile, I'm going to add my media. So I'd like to upload an image. I'm going to click the plus icon, and this is going to load my library again where I can go and select an image. Let's select our pink donut. To the right of where I've just selected, I've got an overview of what it will look like on the social media page I am posting to. You can add multiple images just by selecting the plus icon again and selecting your next image. You've also got the option of video and embedding a video as well. So with my images, if I did want to edit the size of the image or how it looks, if I hover over the image I've just brought in, I've got a pencil icon that I can click on, and this will load a pop-up where I can go and edit this image. When I'm happy, I'll just click export. Now that we've got our images in there, let's create a caption. If we're stuck with what to write, we do have the option of the AI writer to help us. For me, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Check out our new donut collection dropping this Thursday. You've also got the option of hashtags. If you do have hashtags that you like to use frequently, instead of typing them every time you want to create a post, you can pop them into a group. For example, it could be called frequently used. And then you can go and type your hashtags in. Donuts, create, delicious, create, new. Once I'm happy with my group, I'll go create group. And then I can select this group, add, and it will add it to my post. Once you're happy with your post, click continue on the top right corner where you can choose to post now, schedule for later, or save as draft. Just note that the schedule for later feature is only available on some of our plans. I can have an overview and make sure that I'm happy with my post. And when I am, I can click post now. As you continue setting up your account, remember you have plenty of on-demand resources and support available. Just click the question mark icon in the top right corner, and this is where you can search help articles with step-by-step instructions and videos, live and on-demand webinars, and our community hub for tips and best practices shared by customers part of our community. If you ever get stuck or need help with troubleshooting, you can click the Contact Us button at the bottom, and this will show you all the ways you can reach out to our Brisbane-based support team who are available Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's take a moment to celebrate everything that you've learned and accomplished today. You've set up your brand kit, you've uploaded your contacts, you've created your first email, you've connected your social media accounts, and you've sent your first social post. So what's next? The session recording will be emailed to you, and you can reference it at any time that you need to. I recommend checking your inbox for a welcome email sent from your onboarding specialist. And if you haven't already, book in your one-on-one onboarding session with them where you can get some extra tailored guidance while you're setting up your account. If you can't find that email, reach out to our support team and they'll point you in the right direction of getting that set up. Keep setting yourself up for success within your platform. And thank you so much for jumping into this session today. Myself and the team are so happy to have you on board, and we can't wait to see all of the amazing things that you're going to do.